All right, we're live here on Facebook, YouTube,
Blackjack
TV,
the one and only Blackjack Bobby TV.
Surge Sports. We started a little early, so we get the audience built up. We have time. We also have something new. We have our guy Nick down there in the bottom left corner, right? That's not left. With our women's report. By the way, women's team, huge win. 20-point win on the road against a team that was had double-digit wins. That's pretty good. I had to reschedule my Coach Boz show today to probably Friday. They do play Villanova tomorrow night, and Nick will get into that in a few moments. You guys, say opening thoughts around the horn. Let me get the promotion out there while you're doing that. Nick, I'll start with you. Opening thoughts.
Yeah, I'll go first. We need this tonight. I know we're going in as 9-point underdogs. They don't have Fremantle. Art the Sailor Thomas said they did, but they actually don't. If he comes on, we'll bust him a little bit. But Fremantle's been out for the last 3 games. They're a very good team. They're led by Ryan Conway. I don't know. We're 9-point underdogs, like I said. It's good. This is tough. We usually have trouble there. And, Miller's a very good coach, despite some circumstances that he may have had other places. But, I'm not that optimistic about today. We're going to root. We're going to hope. But this might be a tough one, guys.
Paul.
So I think that the key for us is going to need to be, number one, we're going to need to defend, and then defend some more. We're going to have to go out. As Nick said, they've got 3 very good 3-point shooters in Conwell, McKnight, and Marcus Foster. We're going to have to go out and get them. Miller's had a week to figure out what he wants to do down low. With Fremantle injured, what's he going to do inside? So they'll be a little bit harder to prepare for because we don't know what they're going to do. But we've got to defend. We've got to get every rebound. And we've got to play very, very well in the first 5 minutes of the game. We can't come out with the malaise we've seen. We've got to come out crazy, aggressive. Otherwise, that Cintas Stadium crowd is going to go nuts. If we're down 12-4 at the first TV timeout, we're going to be in for a very long afternoon. But if we hang in early and come out with a lot of aggressive play and hang in into the second half, I think we can defend our way to a win tonight.
Hey, Nick, any thoughts? I know you could be our resident women's expert along with myself. Any thoughts on the men's team? All right, so I know you're home. There's no campus right now. It's the holiday break. But what's the buzz been about the program? You can go back a few weeks when campus was actually in session. What's been the buzz about the basketball team this year, the men's team?
For the men's team, I think the big story is Gus Bus. Everyone loves Gus Yalden and the energy that he brings. All the students love him. I know we had a lot of chants going on in the student section with the bands when Gus is on the court and when we want him on the court and he's sitting on the sideline behind Shaw. But right now what we're thinking is there is optimism later down the line. Maybe this program just needs a little time to build up. As Nick and Paul were saying, defense is going to be important. Fremantle not being around tonight is huge. We're also both coming off of losing streaks. The Pirates have lost their last 4. Xavier's lost their last 3. So this is a big momentum boost for either team, no matter who comes away with this win. And I know a lot of my friends are really rooting on Seton Hall defense early and often. And then also free throws are big. We've lost our last couple games by close margins. So the mentality, we've talked about, Nick and Paul mentioned playing at Cintas and how that crowd usually is not very friendly to us, but we need to kind of keep that mentality strong, and we got to start strong and end strong. So the program for the students, we're hoping that we can turn things around. We have a lot of optimism, even though it is early and we haven't been doing so great lately, but that Rutgers watch party was amazing. The energy there was electric at Seton Hall's campus.
Yeah, I think that's some great points. I think Gus is averaging 2.1 points a game and 1.9 rebounds. I mean, you had Paul had mentioned about their center situation. We have to get our center situation. Right now, it's a 3-headed monster with Okorafor 2.2 points a game, 3.3 rebounds, Godswill 1.9 and 2.7, and then Gus. I'd like to see one of them step up. I don't think they have to be Samuel Dallenboyer. I don't think they have to be Walter Dukes. I don't think they have to be, someone of that ilk, but they have to be Charlie Manga for those who remember. You have to be productive. You have to 10-7, something like that. We have to get something out of the center position because right now it's not been existent. And I think the other Nick made a really good point. If it's Gus, just throw him out there and let him develop.
And Nick, he made a good point. If we get half the production we got from Badiko last year, we're in a good place. And that was a big revelation with him last year, coming almost out of nowhere and playing very well for us.
I mean, people talk about, losing Gray and losing Kadari, and yes, but losing the both centers was in my mind just as big because we haven't filled that. We filled the wings adequately, and we also haven't filled the point guards. But there's the potential there. But at the center spot, it's been no production whatsoever. StackMonster, what do you think?
Yeah, Glenn, what's your opening thoughts?
Well, first thing, let's get this straight right off the bat. I offer absolutely nothing of value in terms of analysis here. So,
well, what are your thoughts, though? You're excitable guy.
Your fan thoughts.
Well, okay. Well, my fan thoughts. Well, let's also get this clear that anything I think may not be legitimately.
You know more than you think you know. You sit there every game.
So I think we need to play defense consistently. I think we play good defense, but we don't always do such a good job on the 3-point line. And I know I'm breaking some ground here. I think we need to score a little bit more. A little better point guard play. But I think what's more important here is I have a new segment that I'm introducing right now, and it's called "What the Heck is StackMonster Going to Wear for This Game?" I've tried various combinations of outfits over the past. I have you into. Don't tell my wife I'm in here, but this is our bedroom. This is where it all happens. But anyway, well, used to
PG-13,
Our family show Stack.
All I'm talking about happening is getting the laundry up and down the stairs. Like, what are you guys thinking? Oh, you guys, bad boys. So I'm going generic blue right now, but I have a variety of options here. Okay, nothing has worked so far this season. We can go all black shirt. We can a little blast from the past there. We can go a little more upscale. We got a collar there. And then we have typical blue. And then we have also combinations. We have two major options when it comes to hoodies. You've all seen these before. And then we have we have this two little special. Let's flip it around here. What the heck am I going to wear? We got this at a recent game.
Wait, wait a minute. Is that a Rutgers? Wait, StackMonster, is that a Rutgers shirt back there? What are you doing?
Where you got Rutgers shirt? No.
StackMonster, what in the world?
Oh, well, okay. If you want to go there, Nick, let me show you something. You're not going to like this.
No, don't go.
Step into my closet.
No.
What do we have here? What is this?
I knew it.
All right.
But look closely, folks. It is not Rutgers. It's my son's alma mater and current JV coach of Morris Hill, Scarlet Knight. So it's a different Scarlet Knight, and never the two shall meet. But anyway,
if you're getting a gratuitous plug in there, I'm going to get a gratuitous plug for the Millburn Deli, #1 deli in New Jersey. Thank you. I've got my Millburn Deli hat.
We'll have to scope it out sometime. Anyway, so let's answer the question. What the heck is StackMonster going to wear? We know there's going to be blue involved. In fact, I'm even going with blue cologne today. In fact, here, this way I smell nice. Nice blue cologne, StackMonster ready to go. And I did tell you I offer nothing of value. But what are we going with?
I'm going with the collared shirt. It's New Year's Eve, right? New Year's Eve collared shirt.
All right, we're going collared shirt. So we're going collared shirt. I promise I will turn the camera off when I change shirts. Because
very good.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So we're gonna go collared shirt. All right.
Collared shirt.
Hoodie or no hoodie?
No hoodie.
You're inside the house
today. Sorry.
StackMonster, where you going? Where you going for New Year's Eve, StackMonster?
I'm staying right here. Are we going with white Pirates towel, or are we going with blue Pirates towel today in honor of Mark Bryant? He came up about 1 or 2 points short the other night. But anyway.
I need one of those towels. I missed the game last week.
He didn't play. Okay. Anyway. Another
StackMonster,
thing.
where did Mark Bryant go to high school?
He did not go to Morris Hills. I know what you're thinking, but
he went to Columbia. He went to Columbia down the street from me, my alma mater, and I coached against him in the 8th grade. Yeah.
Okay, all right. But anyway, so there you have it. StackMonster knows what he's going to wear now. I think I'll go get changed and set up. The Peacock broadcast should be beginning any time now, even though I guess they have a pregame show too.
Oh wow!
How long have you? Does everyone here have Peacock?
I do have Peacock. I resubscribed to it when I found out that's the only way I could watch some games.
Blackjack, do you have Peacock?
Yeah, I do.
I'm a
TV junkie.
I'm a WWE mark, so I had Peacock, so now I got lucky.
All right, let's move on
one
to
more
a
thing
Paul.
before I.
Okay, go on.
I'm growing a little bit here. See if that brings us any luck. Anyway.
If it does, you can't shave it. We will tell you can't shave it until.
StackMonster,
Paul,
going dark for a second while I change my shirt.
All right,
you got it, Paul. Time for your pregame report.
Okay. So we talked a little bit about it already. The Zach Fremantle injury is the key story here for Xavier. They were also had another injury before the season even started. Their starting center, Lucina Traor, who is a transfer from Long Beach State, was supposed to be their big man and work with Fremantle, but he's been out since the season started. But these guys shoot threes. Ryan Conwell shoots it well. Debian McKnight shoots it well. Marcus Foster shoots it well. This team scores 80 points a game. And with Sean Miller, they will play defense. They will play man-to-man. They will play zone. They will press. They'll do a lot of things on defense. Cintas Center, as we already said, is not an easy place to play. I think that the matchup favors us more down low. This might be an opportunity for Gus Bus to do something offensively because Xavier is a little bit undermanned inside. And so my view is if they're going to have an opportunity to get points down low, this would be a game that they could do it. Finally, we have become very easy to prepare for. If you think about our best offensive players, Dual, Middleton, Coleman, and Jenkins, they're all very similar players, right? They're all slashing guys. They drive to the basket. None of them are going to make a rhythm three. None of them are going to penetrate and dish. None of them are going to post up. And so if you're Sean Miller, you only got to prepare for one guy. I think that something surprising needs to happen. And I'm with Nick that Gus could be a key factor in a game like this because they want to prepare for us to go inside against their centers. So that's my pregame analysis.
Paul, let me just ask you a quick question, and I don't know if you know this. Years ago, when Willard was our coach, they would always throw a 1-3-1. They were famous for the 1-3-1. I know they have a new coaching staff. Do they still do that? Because that was always an effective changeup.
So I haven't seen them use it in the couple of games that I watched. They press a lot. They will come up and they'll zone press a little bit, and they will match up a little bit too. Nobody plays a straight 2-3 zone anymore, I think, except in the bitty basketball league. But
and Syracuse.
And Syracuse, right. But they will come out and they will match up and have their center kind of clog the lane. And I think that's probably what they'll do against us because it'll take Jenkins and Coleman, make it a little bit more difficult for them to.
What scares me, and Paul, we've talked about this before. We need to score in transition, like you said, slashing. We're not a good, but they are a very good team scoring in transition. So if we get into that kind of game with them, it worries me.
And I think that Coleman has to be the best player on the floor, not just the best player for Seton Hall. He's got to be better than Conwell tonight or this afternoon, or it's going to be very difficult for us to pull off a victory on the road in a place like that.
And I'll go one more, and I think Jenkins has to be, you made this point last time, and Jenkins needs to be our second best player, and him and Coleman need to click a little bit better together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very good, very good. Hey, guys, real quick, before we get on to the women's report from Nick down. Nick's now in the bottom right corner.
Hey, Nick.
Are you guys a little nervous? I was thinking about this yesterday, day before. So we're inevitably going to get better, correct? Both the players and, obviously Coach Shaw is, a fantastic coach. But if, we're at the point now in college athletics, college football, college basketball, where if we get suddenly turn the corner and get pretty good, right, we're going to lose half these players. And we might even lose Coach Shaw because, hey, if he turns this team around, every rebuilding team in the country is going to want him on their sidelines.
I think Shaw was a hot commodity. He had some interviews. I know Louisville was on him. What I fear about Shaw is us not being able to provide him with the NIL funds that he needs to get a team. Because you just made a very good point. Isaiah Coleman and Paul said he needs to be the best player in the game. Yeah, but what happens if he's really good and then we lose him? I don't want to keep getting back to the NIL, but the NIL is so important, and funding the NIL is so important. I mean, it's college basketball right now, and if you're not up on your NIL game, you're not going to be up on your other game.
Exactly.
Hey, Nick.
All right, Nick, you're on the stage now.
All right. So women's basketball, men have been doing great defensively. That kind of seems to be their plus so far early on, as the defense is better than the offense. Women's basketball has been surging on both sides of the ball. They are 2-0 now in Big East play. They won on the 29th against Butler by a 20-point margin, 69-49. That was a huge win for them. And then they won on the 21st of December, opening up conference play against Providence, 51-40. And if you follow along in the Facebook group, every post that I have, I'm doing the pregame and postgame write-ups, and I'm talking about two players all the time, and that's Jada Eads and Faith Masonis. Jada Eads was just named the Big East Player and the Big East Freshman of the Week. She's had 4 consecutive games with career highs in points. It started, I believe, with 14, then 19, then 25, and now 26 against Butler. So she's only getting better as time progresses, and she's been huge. She didn't even start the year as a starter. She was coming off the bench for Coach Tony Bozzella, and she got her first start, I want to say 2 weeks into the season or 3 weeks into the season. And Eads has just been rolling. She's kind of making up for the lack of Savannah Catalan. We have her sidelined with injury. So Eads has been that consistent shooter that Catalan used to be for us before she got hurt. So no Catalan, no problem. We're still finding ways to fill the gaps, which is amazing. I also want to look at her averages on the season: 13.5 points a game, 3.6 rebounds, 36.3% from the field, and 35% from three. There have been a couple games where the shooting percentages as a team have been low, but they're still coming away with victories or close margin losses. And then Faith Masonis is the other player that I want to talk about primarily right now. She was the Big East Player of the Week back November 11th to start the season. She's been named to a couple Big East weekly honor rolls, as has Eads, as has Catalan. But Masonis is putting up 17.4 points a game with 4.5 boards, and shoots just under 50% from the field, 36% from three. So she's been great. She's I think 6th-year senior transfer. Also, Ayanna Lopes is going to be huge. She's been a part of this program for a couple of years. So now that we don't have Savannah Catalan, Shaylin Pinckney is sidelined with injury. Ayanna Lopes is going to be someone that needs to kind of step things up for us and have that presence on the court and off the court. She does lead the team in rebounds with 5.2, and Amari Wright leads the team with 4.6 assists a game. Amari Wright, another veteran that Coach Bozzella is leaning on. She's out there quite a bit, number 22 on the court for us. But for Seton Hall women's basketball, a lot to look forward to, a lot to be excited about. We're 10-3 on the season, 2-0 in Big East play. They have 7 games scheduled in January. We're starting with Nova tomorrow on the 1st. Then we play Georgetown and Creighton at home. We travel for Marquette and UConn in the middle of the month, and end with St. John's on the 25th and Butler on the 29th. So it's going to be quite a competitive schedule. We've seen a lot of success early on. We're going to see how teams start to kind of score up against us with their reports. We were talking earlier how the men's team are kind of easy to go in and prepare for, because it's like one player on the court that we have for our best guys. We're going to see how some of these big, mean teams like UConn and Marquette, we'll see how they kind of stack up against us and what they do to prepare. But a lot to be looking forward to for this women's program. The defense looks solid. 3 of their last 4 opponents have been held to 50 points or less. We do miss Catalan's physicality. She drew a lot of fouls on the court. She was ready to take those charges. So that's something that we don't really see as much now with Savannah Catalan out. We don't know how long she's going to be out for. but the team is doing pretty well without her. And again, need big things back to Yaya Lopes, circling back to her. I really think if Eads, Masonis, and Lopes can be that three-headed monster, this team's going to be really hard to defeat down the stretch. So that's what I've got. But two big wings to start the Big East Conference matchups, 10-3. Some tough games in January, but I like where this team is at, and I like where we're heading with Coach Bozzella.
Nick, let me just jump in real quick. Two of those losses were like some of the best teams in the country, LSU and USC. So
Yes.
that is only going to make that they don't hurt when it comes to Selection Sunday, and that will only help you prepare down the road for the Big East. So that was great scheduling, and I think the team stepped up. But let me ask Bobby and Nick. That was excellent. But you guys talked to Coach B. In my mind, Faith brings so much more. You said she was averaging 17 points a game, but I think being a coach's daughter, she's like a coach on the court. I've watched her a lot this year, and I think she literally knows where every player should be in every other position at every play. And I just think that that's just such an advantage. Have you guys talked to Tony about her and all the intangibles that she brings?
I haven't. Again, my first show with Coach should be hopefully Friday. Here's an interesting thing, real quick. I remember one of the Walsh games. I think it was one of the Walsh men's games. I'm walking in, and Faith was walking out. I guess they just had practice or something, and there were students that were actually in awe of her. Like I even heard one say to the other one, "That's the LeBron James of our program right there."
Yeah,
of our women's team.
Yeah,
you know, I can imagine Nick, with her perspectives on the campus, but. You know, we've had some great players in our past. Lauren Park Lane comes to mind. But there's something about Faith that, Coach is really excited about. And, like I said, he thinks, I text him all the time, I think it's your best team we've had in a while. So,
Nick, what do you think? What do you think about Faith?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's a lot of student buzz about Faith. Obviously, she is a monster on the court. She's a beast. There's really no one that can defend her, at least that we've not seen a team that can defend her because she can get through whoever comes her way. She's not intimidated by anyone on the court. She'll push through. She'll draw fouls. She'll take whatever shot she needs, but she looks comfortable and confident out there. There's just a presence that she has and that she brings. The energy is amazing. The students love her. I know she was a big hit at the autograph day. A lot of the fans and the young kids were going over to Faith, and she just seemed very personable as well. She just seems like someone that you want to root for on and off the court, but she's doing great things for the program, kind of like a Sydney Cooks. Sydney Cooks
Yes.
here a couple years ago. I really like Sydney and Faith. I think they both have brought great things to that position. And I do want to say, I think, Nick, you brought up the losses and some of the big losses that they had. The other loss was Princeton, and that was a 3-point margin. Another very respectable game. So these three losses, really nothing to be upset about, nothing to be concerned over. Three great teams. We held our own against Princeton, so 10-3. But really, I think these are all victories, especially down the line for scheduling, like you were talking about, and as we try to get picked for March Madness and things.
Yeah, with Faith, and I've been around a long time. I probably saw the first women's game in Walsh, but she reminds me of two players, and both their names are being hung in the Raptors. And I don't know if any other guys saw them. Jody Brooks and Robin Cunningham, and that's what I think she brings, that toughness and just that added intelligence and the ability to three tools, play defense, or actually pass, rebound, score, and play defense. So I
and
think
Nick also remember Dawn Johnson?
Yes.
The
Toughness.
Yes.
So
guys,
Nicholas,
real quick. I just noticed here on our private chat from Luigi Woodhams, Jaheim Felton is starting today.
Wow.
That's the one. I just saw that come across my phone there, so I want to announce that real quick.
Wait. So it's Felton at the point, and then Coleman is starting also, I would imagine. Okorafor?
Paul, what do you think?
What do we know though?
Yeah. In our little private chat, Jaheim Felton switched in to start at the one.
No, but who's the other four starters?
I don't know. I haven't.
Ask Luigi.
Everybody who's there, you can let us know.
Luigi, who are the other four starters?
That news was broke by Ryan on our group chat on Messenger.
Yes.
So, Stackman, find the other four. Is it Dylan?
It's at a commercial now for the pregame show. I will say this in terms of the pregame show. Two things that they said, I believe, parroted some of what you guys talked about. Well, I think it was Donnie Marshall said that Chauncey Jenkins needs to step it up and be the scorer he's capable of. I think somebody in this pregame made that point. And the other thing is that Isaiah Coleman needs to say, "Give me the damn ball. This is my team," and put him on the shoulders. And there's Ryan T. Luigi. That's the same Ryan. Okay. Thank you, Nicole.
Ryan, who are the other 4 starters? We don't know.
Either that or somebody check out I'm sure Carino has posted it by now on his Instagram.
I'm also watching the pregame right now, but it's a commercial.
So Nicholas, I had a question for you about the women's program right now.
Yep.
So I took a quick look at ESPN's Lunardi's bracketology. Maybe there's something less meaningful than that in December, but it has 2 Big East teams. You just mentioned a Seton Hall team that has lost to 2 ranked teams and a 3-point loss against probably a league champion in the Princeton. What's it going to take for the Pirates to make the women's bracket? Are they going to need a win against UConn? It's going to be something like that, or do they just have to finish 2nd or 3rd in the conference?
I think it's tough because I think if we have Savannah Catalan healthy and she's playing every game, it's a completely different story. Without Savannah Catalan, we're going to see how we match up against the UConn and Creighton. I'd say I would like to see a win against UConn, Creighton, or Marquette, and I think that would really help us. UConn win would be huge, like a ranked win like that. And right now, I think UConn is 7th in the country. So I do want to see a win against the top team in the conference. But I think we can really hold our own against most of these teams. If we could finish 3rd or 4th, see some sort of UConn, Creighton, Marquette, and Seton Hall match at the top 4. If we can crack top 3, I think that'd be great. But yeah, I'd love to see a win against UConn just to kind of solidify that. As we wait back for Shaylin Pinckney to come back, I don't know what her timetable is. I think Savannah might be out for the better part of the season. Bobby, I don't know if you have more information on that, but
not yet. But real quick, I'll tell you though, I make probably 75% of the women's games, and the past couple times I've been there after missing the game, there seems to be someone new on the floor. So that bench is deep. And if you look at it, I mean, I know Nick, I know you go as well. If you look on that bench, there's always 3 to 4 women who aren't dressed.
Yeah.
But yet they seem, then the next week, one of them are, then somebody else is not dressed. It almost seems like there's a whole bench thing going on in a positive way where, we're interchanging some of the ladies to stay healthy for the big run, hopefully for end of the season, like Nick said.
To touch on that, Caden Lawson is someone that comes to mind that just kind of steps up and gets interchangeably added onto the core and added to that starting 5. Lawson had a big game for us against Providence. She put up, I think, a career high that game for us, or the season high rather for us this year against that Providence team where we won by an 11-point margin. It was Caden Lawson, Jada Eads, and Faith Masonis. Those were the only 3 scorers that game for the Pirates. And Lawson came in a big way because, of course, at some point, Masonis and Eads are going to get stopped. They're going to find defenders to try and block them from scoring a little bit. But Caden Lawson is someone that comes to mind immediately for a girl that comes on and off the court, gets dressed, undressed, sitting on the sidelines. But
we have to pack the house against UConn because UConn travels really well, and we can't let them take over Walsh. I know last year it was like 70-30 Seton Hall. It has to be 99-1. We have to all go out. There's no reason. Paige's last dance. There's going to be a lot of little girls there rooting for Paige, but we need to come out strong. This is our opportunity to be on the national stage and pull an upset.
And real quick, Nick and Paul, the games we played against LSU and USC, it can only raise our national profile, even though there were losses, like Nick said. So that should go a long way for us to finally make the big dance. And I know coaches are very confident about it this year with this team, and I don't blame them. This team is great.
I think we also need to just pack Walsh for all the games. I think now this is a program that we might not see something duplicated. anytime soon. We're not going to have Masonis next year. Jada Eads hopefully stays back with us with the potential that she has and what she's done so far. But I'd say get everyone out to these games, as many games as possible. Come on out to Walsh, support the women, because this is going to be a very successful program this year, and they need all the support they can get, even as we're playing the Georgetowns and the Craytons, at home to start early January. Come on out to see everyone play, and Butler at the end of the month. We just need everyone there at all times to really get these women going and fired up.
Yeah,
and be loud and proud. I was at the NIT game, the last one I was at all of them, but the last one at Walsh, and I've been going to Walsh for 50 years, even old Walsh before the renovations, and it was never, ever as loud as it was. And so we can make it that loud, and we just need to, because that's a tremendous home court advantage. And I know Coach B always talks about it, but he hasn't even heard it at its loudest. So
exactly
we need to do that.
And one last thought: there's few people in all of sports, men's and women's, that are more hateable than Gino Auriemma. I mean, this is a guy that, they could announce that he has some sort of painful terminal disease that's going to cause him to live to be 100 in horrible pain. And I would say that's really a bummer. Too bad. I hate the man.
His kids love him though, and he loves all of them. So
his kids love him. The people of Connecticut love him.
Right.
People who have never watched a basketball game in Connecticut love him. I hate his face. Let me tell you.
Paul, I really think you need to tell us how you feel. I don't
Paul,
want
wait.
you holding back.
Paul, do you hate him more than you hate Danny? No.
Well, I'm a bigger fan of the men's game, so that sort of factors into the Danny factor. But it's funny. The first team in any sport, I'm a big Yankee fan, that I ever really hated was the University of North Carolina in basketball, and I'll tell that story later. So it looks like Dylan, Isaiah, Prince Alegbe is surprising, and Okafor and I can never pronounce his name.
Manny.
Manny.
Yeah, I want to call him Okafor because that was the played on UConn, but it's Okorafor. So
Prince has been starting though. Prince he has been starting Prince when he's healthy. So yeah.
Prince is the only guy on our team that looks like what's the name from last year? The big guy. I'm forgetting him. Dre. He's the only guy
he does look
Dre.
like he does resemble Dre. Yeah.
We all know Gister hates McDermott. By the way, quick hot take before we go to our final thoughts.
The great Nicole Gizzy. What's up? Happy New Year, Nicole. Love you.
Real quick, one quick hot take before we go around the horn for our final thoughts. I firmly think, in my crazy mind, that Danny Hurley comes back to coach Seton Hall one day, and if he ever wins the championship with us, he gets that statue outside. I don't know. I have a feeling somewhere down the road, not immediately, but
he was once our keynote speaker at the Matheny School graduation about 15 years ago. I liked him then. Now I'm a little bit salty.
Yeah, we never gave him a shot, right? I mean, it never seemed to work out with the timing and everything. So we'll see. All right, guys. Final thoughts. We'll start with Nick in the bottom corner.
So I know the men's aren't really my wheelhouse here, but I do want to see more from Dylan Adewusu. I do think that he's going to be big for us moving forward.
Get him off already.
Yeah, like if he's not going to step up and play, we need to find some substitution for him. I'm just looking at last game stats against Georgetown, 0-for-5 from 3. I know he's not known as a shooter. Last year he had a couple big games. He had his big game against St. John's, his old school, and that kind of really got him on the radar for us when he was playing with Dre and Dawes and all them. But I want to see more from Dylan Adewusu on the court. If he's going to be out there, let's see more of his leadership. He is kind of the staple guy from last year. Him and Coleman are really the only guys we have left. He knows Shaheen Holloway. I want to see Dylan Adewusu leading more this team on the court, off the court, leadership, scoring points, just something productive out of Adewusu. That's what I'm looking for today and for the rest of the season.
StackMonster.
Yeah, I think most importantly, I want to figure out how to join the chat so that my comments can show up on the screen for everybody to see, so that my insightful comments are expressed to the entire world.
I'll teach you one day. We'll teach you next week.
Every time I hit the button, it says let me tell you what it says. Connect to YouTube. So I click connect to YouTube, and it says StreamYard wants to use google.com to sign in. Continue. And then it doesn't let me do it. Oh, God.
We'll figure it out. We'll get you up to snuff.
It's no
Paul,
fun
final
getting
thoughts.
old. Just ask Tom Eccles. He'll tell you.
Well, two quick thoughts. One is when you play a team that shoots a lot of threes, there's a lot of long rebounds. So I think that we're going to have to do something to make sure that we keep them off the offensive glass. Number two, I think it's very important that the StackMonster shirt be identified on a win, because if he does win, he's going to have to wear it again, and he's not going to be able to wash it. So that's going to be a very key part of the game tonight.
I don't wash my clothes anyway, Paul, so it should be fairly easy for me.
Yeah, Paul, you had a good point. You have a good point there. Stack, until we win a game, you know, you guys keep trying a different outfit, a different shirt on every time until we get the right combination.
I just hope we don't get to the point where I forego the underwear.
Oh boy, he went there, Nick. He went there.
TMI.
Nick from Millburn. Final thoughts.
Nick from Millburn, home of the world famous Millburn Deli. Let me say this: Coach Willard, who I always loved and always supported and still love and support, said the key to college basketball these days were shooting the three and defending the three. We need to defend the three really well. They have some really good, as Paul mentioned, some really good three-point shooters. And if we could ever shoot the three, which we haven't been that great at, that would be a big turnaround. So defend the three and let's shoot the three.
I got two final thoughts. One, less than a minute to go in the game. If we're within 3 points, maybe 4, please, I don't want to see the ball in Dylan's hands anymore.
Good point.
My second point, everybody, Happy New Year. We're getting close to tip-off. And one great thing about being a Seton Hall graduate is that we don't have a football team, and I can still be a Notre Dame fan. Go Notre Dame.
Go Irish.
Go Pirates. Guys, great show. We're getting better and better at this.
Yeah.
Hook 'em horns. Hook 'em horns.
He's always like, he's got to be that guy, right?
Always.
Nick, and StackMonster, great show. Paul, thanks for your analysis. Nikki and Ryan Luigi Woodhams. I don't know how you get Luigi and Woodhams in the same name, but great job with your breaking news there. And go Pirates, and we'll see you guys in 2025.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Go Pirates.
Happy New Year.
Go Pirates.
Go Pirates.